Hey DE kids, this is Hendrik Booz and my daughter over here. I just wanted to go ahead and explain to you what week 10 is going to look like, and there she is again. Madeline, come on, bud. What week 10 is going to look like in terms of current events and what we're asking of you. So here we go. Let's switch the screen around. You can find this information in two places, either on the class webpage or as always in Classroom. This is going to be published at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, which is Thursday, the 29th of October. Yes. So let's get into it. What are you going to be doing? Well, there are several pieces to this. You guys are becoming more and more adept at doing some peer review. So one of the goals of this is going to be further peer review. So you've already done the chart, the shared chart that we worked with last week. And so if you, obviously people have not started it as much. I think Gabby's the only one. But if you take a look at that shared doc, you guys came up with a bunch of ideas. And so first task was to work on kind of selecting ideas from a global, national, and then a regional and kind of local scale, all the way down to our community. So whether that's your community in Burke, or your community in Falls Church, or your community in Fairfax City, then just pick what you want, what's going on. And then I also have some topical ideas right here, so you can see a bunch of other people have started to add links and things like that. And then your second task is to isolate three different specific ideas. And so let's use Gabby's point of view. She's working with SARS, or she referenced SARS, potential water found on the moon, and then the recent fatal police shooting in Philadelphia and the subsequent rioting. What I'm asking you to do is to stay away from partisan politics in next week's election, just because it's a pretty obvious idea. Maybe we can move past that. I'd also like you to move away from COVID-19, just because it's all over the news. And unless it's something that you really want to argue that's a slightly different take on it, then please don't do that. And then in 20 years of teaching, I've read too many articles about legalizing marijuana, so just don't do that. And so what are you actually going to be doing? Well, you're going to identify and analyze at least one difference in the writing of the two articles. So here again is that idea that I'm trying to get you to understand: agreeing, but also disagreeing, or being able to see contrary points of view, contrary theses. So you're not just explaining the event, what's happening as the topic, but you're analyzing the analysis, or you're actually analyzing how the articles are breaking the event down. Is there a change in tone? Is there a different use of evidence, much like our cause and effect pieces? Is there a different perspective, whether that is a perspective based on gender, based on heritage, based on time, based on culture, based on maybe even religious or political or philosophical differences? That's what perspectives are. And then details. And the idea is that you guys are using direct quotations and citing it using in-text citations or parenthetical references in an MLA format. Or as some of you guys have begun to argue, maybe you want to use Chicago or APA, something that I'm not as skilled with because it's been quite some time, but I'm more than willing to learn about this year. So everything is going to be used, graded, the long-term papers using the rubric that you started to see, or you saw with your cause and effect essay. And so what we're trying to do is just make one rubric and see how it works for the whole year. That being said, I'll close that. So one of the ideas is that we're trying to get you to think about how you can hook the reader in, whether you're going to use some sort of narrative to hook the reader in, or if you're going to just use more of an analytical point of view. We're leading you to work on your theses, and then obviously supporting those theses. So I don't know if you guys ever did AEC paragraphs or assertion, evidence, claim. That would be the evidence part, and then the conclusions to your body paragraphs. I'm also looking for transitions from all of you, and so I'm just going to actually add that right now. Working toward smooth transitions between the paragraphs. That was my daughter interrupting me. Okay, so then the evidence. Obviously, there's some information on our website, which I kind of rely on, and then the idea that you're synthesizing or bringing things together throughout the essay. Obviously, we're looking for logic, the credit for the sources. I don't expect any of you guys to plagiarize or anything like that, but we also want to make sure that you're using quotation marks and in-text citations so that there's no problems there. And then obviously, something I used to call MUG, mechanics, usage, and grammar, or just phrasing, sentence. You're going to put this in the shared Google folder, and so again, if you know where that is, it's pretty easy to find. Boom, My Drive, dual enrollment, you see it, and then here is your shared folder, and you're going to see the shared folder of current events right there. All right, moving toward the literary analysis piece, what you're eventually going to do is you're going to be looking at a piece of literature, either of your choosing or something that we provide for you from the Bedford or from a variety of outside sources. And this would be much more of a traditional analytical paper that you'd see in an English class. So we're looking for you to look at authorial choices. And authorial choices are these, but also, irony and tension and characterization and plot and setting and all the things that, really I teach in my day job, as it were, at Marshall. So you have a couple pieces of reading, and they're all linked here. And then I'm asking you to do a little bit of an analysis based on these directions. And then one of my favorite stories in the world, I love that we get to read this, is Ray Bradbury's The Pedestrian. So there are all the links for you. Obviously, what comes next is you have this lovely weekly worksheet that's graded holistically, and a lot of it's just, did you do it? Did you do it? And then there's a little bit of analysis where you're going to paste the chart and things like that. That being said, that's what you have to do for, again, it's scheduled to come out tomorrow morning, Thursday, the 29th of October, and it's due, November 10th at 8 a.m. So that's the Tuesday following the November 3rd, the day we vote. So there it is. Pretty simple. I hope everybody understands what he or she is meant to do. Madeline, you want to say goodbye to everybody? I think she wants to.
Bye!
All right. Have a lovely week. I hope you have a good 2 days off. I hope you get 2 days off. And the last thing I wanted to do is just address the email that I sent to you and some of the stuff we talked about at the end of chat last night. It was really remarkable to hear from you. My wife was astonished at your level of engagement, and I really liked the candor. I don't know what I'm going to do with that information. I don't know how I'm going to disseminate it or get it to your base schools. I don't want to get them in trouble, but I kind of do, but I also don't want to get myself in trouble. Anyway, that being said, I really appreciate it, and I love the community that we built. Have a good week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.